Question number 1. Dash granted sole right to the East India Company to trade with India, meaning no other British company could compete with the East India Company.
Nice work. You chose Queen Elizabeth I, and it is correct.
Question number 2. The British saw Hyder and Tipu as ambitious, arrogant, and dangerous. 4 battles were fought with them, and only in the last battle did the company ultimately win by killing Tipu Sultan. Identify this battle.
Right again. Battle of Offen is a valid answer.
Question number 3. Arrange the following treaties in chronological order. 1. Treaty of Mangalore 2. Treaty of Alanagar 3. Treaty of Pondicherry 4. Treaty of Allahabad 5. Treaty of Paris 6. Treaty of Srirangapatnam.
Sharp thinking. 243516 is the right choice.
Question number 4. Sirajuddaula marched with 30,000 soldiers to the English factory of Dash, captured company officials, locked down the warehouse, disarmed all Englishmen, and blockaded English ships.
You chose Kasim Bazar, and it is correct.
Question number 5. Choose the correct option from the following. The 2 famous Maratha soldiers and statesmen of the late 18th century. A. Mahaji Sindhyabnana Fadnisks, Raja Ranjith Sindhia.
Perfect. Both and B is the correct choice.
Question number 6. Which treaty signed between Hyder Ali and the British East India Company?
You got it. Your choice Madras Treaty is right.
Question number 7. Under whom French army defeated the strong Indian army under Mahfuz Khan?
On track. Captain Paradise is the correct answer.
Question number 8. According to Indian High Courts Act, -3 high courts were set up in Calcutta, Bombay and Madras in place of old Supreme Courts in the year -.
Smart move. 1861 and 1862 is an accurate answer.
Question number 9. Shuja or Daulah, Shah Alam and Mir Qasim was defective by General Dash.
Well picked. Hector Munro is the correct answer.
Question number 10. Arrange the following states in chronological order by their order of annexation under Doctrine of Lapse. Li 1, Nagpur 2, Jhansi 3, Sambalpur 4, Satara 5, Jaipur 6, Udaipur.
Exactly, 453621 makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 11. After the Battle of Plassey, Robert Clive wrote to William Pitt, one of the principal secretaries of state, to the English monarch in January the 7th from Dash.
Great thinking. 1759 from Calcutta is the right choice.
Question number 12. Who granted French with the grant of villages around Pondicherry?
Strong choice. Chanda Sahib is the right answer. Question number 13. The decisive battle of the Third Carnatic War was fought on Dash.
Smart pick. January 22, 1760 is the correct choice.
Question number 14. What were the reasons for East India Company to trade with India?
Bravo. All of the above is the answer.
Question number 15. The first English factory was set up in the banks of River Dash.
Correct response. Mind is the most accurate answer.
Question number 16. In Kittur, the war against East Indian Company was led by Dash.
Nice selection. Queen Chanama is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 17. Vasco da Gama discovered the sea route to India in the year Dash.
Excellent. 1498 is a brilliant choice.
Question number 18. Under which treaty French were not allowed to gather armies?
Great job. Paris Treaty is the accurate answer.
Question number 19. who formed a confederacy with Shuja-ud-Daulah and Shah Alam? Correct. Mir Qasim is the right answer.
Question number 20. The Nawabs had to pay dash every month to finance war.
Right choice. 5 thalos is the best answer.
Question number 21. Mir Qasim shifted his capital from Murstadabad to Dash.
Good job. Your answer, Monk, works well here. Question number 22. The toy tiger is kept in Dash, the museum in London. Good thinking. Victoria and Albert is the right answer. Question number 23. Who died of cancer during the course of the war? Solid response. Hyder Ali is a valid choice. Question number 24. How many villages French got around Pondicherry? Valid point. 80 is true.
Question number 25. Who he consolidated the British power in India?
Well done. Warren Hastings is the right choice.
Question number 26. Hyder Ali defeated English and captured Dash.
Nicely done. Mangalore is a solid answer.
Question number 27. Who supported Chanda Sahib and Muzaffar Jang? You're right. French is the correct answer.
Question number 28. Who was the first Governor General in India?
Well reasoned. Warren Hastings is the correct choice.
Question number 29. Dash painted the trial of Warren Hastings. Excellent choice. R.G. Pollard is the right answer.
Question number 30. Who defeated Hyder Ali at Porto Novo?
Clear logic. Your choice, Erkut, is sound and 100% true. Question number 31. British troops invaded Mysore in Dash. Strong choice. 1767 is the right answer. Question number 32. Wadiyars ruled over the state of Dash. Excellent choice. Mysore is the right answer. Question number 33. The Maratha chiefs were held together in a confederacy under the Peshwa. The members were A. Sindhiab, Holkark, Bansald, Gaikwad. Right again. ABCD is a valid answer.
Question number 34. Arrange the following Supreme Courts of British era in chronological order of their establishment. 1. Madras 2. Calcutta 3. Bombay.
Exactly. 213 makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 35. Dual system of government was introduced by Robert Clive in Bengal in Dash, and was later abolished by Warren Hastings in Dash.
You're right. 1765 and 1772 is the correct answer.
Question number 36. How many Carnatic wars occurred?
Smart move. 3 is an accurate answer. Question number 37. The Europeans were interested in some of the commodities present in India. Which were the main commodities they were after? Smart pick. All of these is the correct choice. Question number 38. In Dash, if an Indian ruler died without a male heir, his kingdom would lapse. That is, become part of company territory. Good job. Your answer doctrine of lapse works well here. Question number 39. The Court of Proprietors of the East India Company had their meetings in the East India House on Dash Street in London. You chose Leadenhall, and it is correct.
Question number 40. The Dash had a large number of armed peasants, and the local zamindars often supplied the Mughals with paid soldiers.
Good thinking. Rural areas is the right answer. Question number 41. According to the historians, by the second half of the 18th century, which new power emerged as powerful in India? Bravo! British is the answer. Question number 42. After the death of Mir Jafar in 1765, Mughal emperor appointed the company as the Daesh of the provinces of Bengal.
Excellent. Diwan is a brilliant choice. Question number 43. The three powerful Nawabs of Bengal Varak, that Murshid Quli Kambu, Ali is theirs, Siraj Wood Daulad, Mir Zafar.
Well done. ABC is the right choice. Question number 44. Alliance means? Right choice. Relationship among groups is the best answer. Question number 45. The treaties that followed the Battle of Buxar forced Nawab Dash-Al of Awadh to give up much of his authority. Nicely done. Shuja-Uddaula is a solid answer. Question number 46. Dash tree is known for its beautiful red flowers that yield gulal, the powder used in the festival of Holi. Nice selection. Palash is the correct and valid answer. Question number 47. Under which policy the kingdom was taken over by the company if the Indian king did not have male hair? Correct. Doctrine of lapse is the right answer. Question number 48. In 1756, the Mughal emperor appointed the East India Company as the Dash of the provinces of Bengal. Correct response. Diwan is the most accurate answer. Question number 49. The Portuguese had established their presence in the western coast of India and had their bases in. Great job, Goa is the accurate answer. Question number 50. In which Awadh was forced to give half of his territory to the company under subsidiary alliance? Solid response. 1801 is a valid choice. Question number 51. What was the commodity which led to the establishment of trade route between Portugal and India? Great thinking. Spices is the right choice. Question number 52. Under which Governor General, the Nawab of Awadh was forced to give over half of his territory? Valid point. Richard Wellesley is true. Question number 53. In which year the Mughal emperor appointed the company as the Diwan of the provinces of Bengal? Perfect. 1765 is the correct choice. Question number 54. Dash granted a charter to East India Company in early 1600s in order to trade with India. Well picked. Queen Elizabeth I is the correct answer. Question number 55. Which term is used disapprovingly to refer to a person who is controlled by someone else? You got it. Your choice, puppet, is right. Question number 56. Due to the fear of Russian expansion in India, which countries were annexed by Britishers? On track. All of these is the correct answer. Question number 57. Among the following spices, which spice export has been stopped by Tapu Sultan in 1785? Clear logic. Your choice cardamom is sound and 100% true. Question number 58. Which ruler of Mysore stopped the export of many things through the ports of his kingdom? Nice work. You chose Sultan's deception and it is correct. Question number 59. In which year did Robert Clive lead the company's army against Siraj-Ud-Daula at Plassey? Sharp thinking. 1757 is the right choice. Question number 60. Hawkins got a firman from the Mughal Emperor Dash
to open a factory at Surat in 1609?
Well reasoned. Jahangir is the correct choice.
Question number 61. Which one of these was annexed on the basis of the Dalhousie's doctrine of lapse?
Smart pick. Satara is the correct choice. Question number 62. After Alivardi Khan's demise, who was the third Bengal Nawab to ascend the throne? You got it. Your choice, Sirajuddaula, is right.
Question number 63. Who conspired with British against Siraj-ud-Daulah during the Battle of Plassey?
Solid response. Mir Jafar is a valid choice.
Question number 64. British territories were broadly divided into administrative units called dash.
Excellent choice. Presidencies is the right answer.
Question number 65. In which year did the East India Company get the charter from Queen Elizabeth I?
Good job. Your answer 1600 works well here.
Question number 66. The British who did the company's army against Siraj-ud-Daulah at Plassey was?
Valid point. Robert Clive is true.
Question number 67. Dash Indian rulers were not allowed to have their independent armed forces.
Correct response. Subsidiary alliance is the most accurate answer.
Question number 68. In 1765, who appointed the company as the Diwan of the provinces of Bengal?
Right choice. Mughal emperor is the best answer.
Question number 69. Dash led Englishmen in the Battle of Plassey against Bengal Nawab in 1757.
Right again. Robert Clive is a valid answer.
Question number 70. Who succeeded the throne of Bengal after Siraj-ud-Daulah was assassinated?
Exactly. Mir Jafar makes sense and it is right choice.
Question number 71. Vasco da Gama was a dash explorer who found a sea route to India on 1498.
You're right. Portuguese is the correct answer.
Question number 72. Which Governor-General defeated Siraj-ud-Daulah in the Battle of Plassey?
Well reasoned. Robert Clive is the correct choice.
Question number 73. After the Battle of Buxar, the company appointed dash in Indian states.
Clear logic. Your choice residence is sound and 100% true.
Question number 74. Warren Hastings' crime led to an impeachment that lasted for dash a years.
Nice selection. 7 is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 75. When the East India Company acquired a charter from Queen Elizabeth I.
Bravo, 1600 is the answer.
Question number 76. Which of the following products of India had a good market in Europe?
Nice work. You chose all of the above, and it is correct.
Question number 77. After which battle did the company appoint residents in Indian states?
Good thinking. Battle of Buxar is the right answer.
Question number 78. The presence of Ranjit Singh encouraged the British to annex Punjab.
Well picked. False is the correct answer.
Question number 79. In India, on which river the first English factory was set up in 1651?
On track. Mind is the correct answer.
Question number 80. Which of the following European companies did not traded with India?
Perfect. Russian is the correct choice. Question number 81. Mir Jafar, a powerful general, did not fight in the Battle of Plassey.
Nicely done. True is a solid answer.
Question number 82. Who was the main reason for the defeat of Sirajuddaula at Plassey?
Great thinking. Mir Jafar is the right choice.
Question number 83. Which tree is known for its beautiful red flowers that yield golal?
Sharp thinking. Palash is the right choice.
Question number 84. The first English factory was set up on the banks of the river Dash.
Excellent. Mind is a brilliant choice. Question number 85. Tipu Sultan controlled the profitable trade of the coast of Bengal.
Strong choice. False is the right answer.
Question number 86. Mir Qasim defeated, driven out of Bengal, and Dash was reinstalled.
You chose Mir Jafar, and it is correct.
Question number 87. Who gave crushing defeat to Sirajuddaula in the Battle of Plassey?
Great job. Robert Clive is the accurate answer.
Question number 88. What were the reasons for East India Company to trade with India?
Well done. All of these is the right choice.
Question number 89. A business enterprise that makes profit through trade is known as?
Smart move. Mercantile is an accurate answer.
Question number 90. Robert Clive came to Dash in India from England at the age of 18.
Correct. Madras is the right answer.
Question number 91. Which of these kingdoms was not annexed by the doctrine of lapse?
Nice work. You chose none of the above, and it is correct. Question number 92. What led to intense conflicts of the companies with local rulers?
You chose fortification, and it is correct. Question number 93. Tipu Sultan established a close relationship with the Dash, and Dash.
Smart move. French modernized army is an accurate answer.
Question number 94. During British-Afghan War, Maharaja Dash was the king of Punjab. Correct response. Ranjit Singh is the most accurate answer.
Question number 95. Which European country first established their presence in India?
Valid point. Portuguese is true.
Question number 96. What was called the administrative head of Maratha Confederacy?
Excellent. Clear is a brilliant choice.
Question number 97. After defeat of Sirajuddaula, Dash became the Nawab of Bengal.
Right choice. Mir Jafar is the best answer. Question number 98. The subsidiary alliance system was a method introduced by Dash. Well done. Lord Wellesley is the right choice.
Question number 99. Official enumeration of the population after every Dash years.
You're right. 10 is the correct answer.
Question number 100. Dash were the second Europeans to establish trade with India.
Great thinking. Dutch is the right choice.
Question number 101. After Second Anglo-Maratha War, Peshwa was sent to exile near.
Exactly. Bithor makes sense and it is right choice.
Question number 102. This Governor-General introduced the policy of paramountcy.
Nicely done. Lord Hastings is a solid answer.
Question number 103. From the following presidencies, which belongs to British?
Solid response. Bombay is a valid choice.
Question number 104. The English got permission to open the factory again in dead dash.
Right again. Surat is a valid answer. Question number 105.
Who led the company's army against Sirajuddaulah at Plassey? Bravo. Robert Clive is the answer. Question number 106. Identity, the famous Maratha soldier of the late 18th century. Well picked. Mahaji Scindia is the correct answer.
Question number 107. Robert Clive was appointed as the governor of Bengal in.
Clear logic. Your choice 1764 is sound and 100% true.
Question number 108. After the Dash Company appointed residents in Indian states.
Correct. Battle of Buxar is the right answer.
Question number 109. In which battle company gave a crushing defeat to Marathas?
Excellent choice. Third Anglo-Maratha War is the right answer.
Question number 110. Dash was the corrupt officer and made his fortune in India. Sharp thinking. Robert Clive is the right choice.
Question number 111. From which queen did the company receive the royal charter?
Perfect. Elizabeth I is the correct choice.
Question number 112. The Battle of Plassey took place between Sirajuddaulah and.
Nice selection. Robert Clive is the correct and valid answer. Question number 113. In which year Vasco da Gama discovered sea route to India?
Smart pick. 1498 is the correct choice.
Question number 114. In which onwards a new system of justice was established?
You got it. Your choice 1772 is right. Question number 115. In which year did Tipu Sultan become the ruler of Mysuru? Good job. Your answer 1782 works well here. Question number 116. Which Nawab of Bengal was defeated in the Battle of Buxar? On track. Mikhasim is the correct answer. Question number 117. Dash was the first major victory of Englishmen in India. Well reasoned. Battle of Plassey is the correct choice.
Question number 118. Dash translated Digest of Hindu Laws in English in 1775.
Strong choice. M.B. Halt is the right answer.
Question number 119. Lord Dalhousie was the Governor-General from which year?
Good thinking. 1848-1856 is the right answer.
Question number 120. Mir Jafar was deposed by the company and installed Dash.
Great job. Mikhasim is the accurate answer.
Question number 121. On which river bank was the base of the company set up?
Excellent choice. River Hooghly is the right answer.
Question number 122. Dash was administrative head of Marathas based in Pune.
Right choice. Pay is the best answer.
Question number 123. Criminal court in each district was called Dash Adalat.
You chose Craftsman, and it is correct.
Question number 124. Alivardi Khan, the Nawab of Bengal, was followed by Dash.
Solid response. Sirajuddaulah is a valid choice.
Question number 125. The warfare technology of Britishers were changed from.
Smart pick. 1820s is the correct choice. Question number 126. Who granted the Diwani rights of Bengal to the British? Nice work. You chose Mughal Emperor and it is correct.
Question number 127. The doctrine of the lapse was a system introduced by.
Bravo. Lord Dalhousie is the answer.
Question number 128. Who asked Robert Clive to produce maps of Hindustan?
Nicely done. James Rannet is a solid answer.
Question number 129. After the Battle of Plassey, Dow was made the Nawab.
Exactly. Mir Jafar makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 130. Sultan was killed defending his capital often can be.
Great job. True is the accurate answer.
Question number 131. Whom did the company install in place of Mir Jafar?
Right again? Mir Qasim is a valid answer.
Question number 132. What is the name of the head ruler of a presidency?
Well reasoned. Governor is the correct choice. Question number 133. Dash was assassinated and Mir Jafar made the Nawab. Great thinking. Sirajuddaula is the right choice.
Question number 134. Who was the first Governor General of British India?
Perfect. Warren Hastings is the correct choice. Question number 135. When was first English factory was set up in Bengal? Correct. 1651 is the right answer.
Question number 136. Many historians refer to British period in India as.
Valid point. Colonial is true. Question number 137. How many Anglo-Mysore wars were fought? Sharp thinking. 4 is the right choice.
Question number 138. How many wars were fought at famous place Panipat?
Correct response. 3 is the most accurate answer. Question number 139. Vasco da Gama discovered the sea route to India in.
Clear logic. Your choice, 1498, is sound and 100% true.
Question number 140. The Third Battle of Panipat was fought in the year.
1761 is the correct answer.
Question number 141. Which kingdom was annexed under Doctrine of Lapse? You got it. Your choice, Nagpur, is right. Question number 142. The kingdom, Jhansi, annexed on the basis of dash.
Nice selection. Doctrine of Lapse is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 143. Tipu Sultan was killed defending his capital dash.
Excellent. Often is a brilliant choice.
Question number 144. Dash was annexed under Doctrine of Lapse in 1848.
Good thinking. Satara is the right answer.
Question number 145. When did Sirajuddaula become the Nawab of Bengal?
Well picked. 1756 is the correct answer.
Question number 146. Tipu Sultan stopped export through his kingdom in. Good job. Your answer 1785 works well here. Question number 147. Who was the last powerful ruler of Mughal Empire? Well done. Aurangzeb is the right choice.
Question number 148. The Battle of Buxar was fought in which year dash?
Strong choice. 1764 is the right answer.
Question number 1439. The first English factory was set up in the year.
Smart move. 1651 is an accurate answer.
Question number 150. Battles between Britishers and Marathas known as. You're right. Anglo-Maratha Wars is the correct answer. Question number 151. When was the new set of justice was established? Well done. 1772 is the right choice. Question number 152. On what ground award was annexed by the company?
Well reasoned. Misgovernment is the correct choice.
Question number 153. Who implemented the policy of doctrine of lapse?
Solid response. Lord Dalhousie is a valid choice.
Question number 154. In which year was first English factory set up?
Clear logic. Your choice 1651 is sound and 100% true.
Question number 155. Paramountcy was introduced under Robert Clive.
Smart move. False is an accurate answer.
Question number 156. Who issued a farman for the East India Company?
Smart pick. Aurangzeb is the correct choice. Question number 157. Who was the principal figure in the districts? Good job. Your answer collector works well here.
Question number 158. Tipu Sultan was known as the Tiger of Mysore.
Sharp thinking. True is the right choice.
Question number 159. Who was made Nawab of Bengal after Mir Jafar?
Great thinking. Mir Qasim is the right choice.
Question number 160. Who discovered the sea route to India in 1498?
Excellent choice. Vasco da Gama is the right answer. Question number 161. Which of the following was not the presidency? Strong choice. Nature is the right answer.
Question number 162. Dash was the last ruler of the Mughal Empire.
On track. Bahadur Shah Zafar is the correct answer. Question number 163. Autographies are account of people written by. You're right. Themselves is the correct answer. Question number 164. When the Third Battle of Panipat took place. Great job, 1761 is the accurate answer.
Question number 165. What were the subsidiary forces meant for?
Correct response. To protect the army is the most accurate answer.
Question number 166. When was the Third Battle of Panipat fought?
Right choice. 1761 is the best answer.
Question number 167. Who were the successor of Murshid Quli Khan?
Nicely done. Ali Vardi Khan is a solid answer.
Question number 168. Who initiated the policies of paramountcy?
Nice selection. Lord Hastings is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 169. Competition among the companies resulted in. Valid point. Reduced profits of companies is true.
Question number 170. The Nawab of Bengal after Alivardi Khan was.
You chose Sirajudallah, and it is correct. Question number 171. In which year Battle of Plassey took place?
Excellent. 1757 is a brilliant choice.
Question number 172. Subsidiary alliance was introduced by Dash. Good thinking. Lord Wellesley is the right answer.
Question number 173. In 1785, Tipu Sultan stopped the export of.
Exactly. Sandalwood, pepper, cardamom makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 174. Who implemented the policy of paramountcy?
Nice work. You chose Lord Hastings, and it is correct.
Question number 175. When was the first English company set up?
Well picked. 1651 is the correct answer.
Question number 176. Nobs were called Nadabs by the British.
Correct. False is the right answer.
Question number 177. Nawab of Bengal Alivardi Khan was dead in. 1756 is the answer.
Question number 178. What is the East India Company known as?
You got it? Your choice mercantile is right.
Question number 179. Right to collect land revenue is known as.
Right again. Councillor is a valid answer.
Question number 180. Who introduced new policy of paramountcy?
Perfect. Lord Hastings is the correct choice.
Question number 181. First East India Company was built on the.
You chose banks of River Hooghly, and it is correct.
Question number 182. What were the administrative units called?
Great thinking. Presidencies is the right choice.
Question number 183. In which battle was Tipu Sultan defeated?
Right again. Battle of Ophir is a valid answer.
Question number 184. How many Anglo-Maratha wars were fought?
On track. 3 is the correct answer.
Question number 185. Battle of Plassey took place in the year.
Good job. Your answer 1757 works well here.
Question number 186. First Anglo-Maratha War ended with dash.
Clear logic. Your choice Treaty of Salbai is sound and 100% true.
Question number 187. Under whose control was criminal courts?
Valid point. Qazi and Musi is true.
Question number 188. Who was the last Mughal ruler of India?
Well reasoned. Bahadur Shah Zafar is the correct choice.
Question number 189. Who was the last powerful Mughal ruler?
Nicely done. Aurangzeb is a solid answer.
Question number 190. Which governor defeated Siraj-ud-Daulah?
You got it? Your choice, Robert Clive, is right.
Question number 191. When was the Kingdom of Punjab annexed?
Right choice. 1849 is the best answer.
Question number 192. The First Carnatic War ended with the.
Solid response. Treaty of Aix-la-Chapelle is a valid choice.
Question number 193. The Governor General who was impeached.
Well done. Warren Hastings is the right choice.
Question number 194. Tipu Sultan was the son of Hyder Ali.
Correct. True is the right answer.
Question number 195. When did the Great Sepoy Revolt broke?
Smart pick. 1857 is the correct choice.
Question number 196. Kolkata city is on the banks of river.
Excellent choice. Mind is the right answer.
Question number 197. Who was known as the Tiger of Mysore? Smart move. Sultan's deception is an accurate answer. Question number 198. Dash is referred as Tiger of Mysore.
Nice selection. Sultan's deception is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 199. Who introduced the doctrine of lapse?
Well picked. Dalhousie is the correct answer.
Question number 200. Who was the father of Siraj-ud-Daulah?
You're right. Ali Vardi Khan is the correct answer.
Question number 201. At present, where is Tipu's toy tiger?
Excellent. Victoria and Albert Museum is a brilliant choice.
Question number 212. When was Sine taken over by company?
Strong choice. 1843 is the right answer.
Question number 2 and 3. Siraj ud-Daulah was the successor of.
Correct response. Ali Vardi Khan is the most accurate answer.
Question number 2 and 4. Which one was not a trading company?
Exactly. The Japanese makes sense and it is right choice.
Question number 2 and 5. When was the Battle of Buxar fought?
Perfect. 1764 is the correct choice.
Question number 2 and 6. Doctrine of lapse was introduced by.
Nice work. You chose Lord Dalhousie, and it is correct.
Question number 2 and 7. Who introduced subsidiary alliance?
Great job. Lord Wellesley is the accurate answer.
Question number 2 and 8. The British conquest began with the.
Bravo. Battle of Plassey is the answer.
Question number 2 and 9. The Battle of Plassey took place in.
Sharp thinking. 1757 is the right choice.
Question number 210. The former ruling dynasty of Mysore.
Good thinking. Vodiyars is the right answer.
Question number 211. Who marched with 30,000 soldiers?
Well reasoned. Sarajadula is the correct choice.
Question number 212. The first Carnatic War started in.
Great job. 1746 is the accurate answer.
Question number 213. The last powerful Mughal ruler was.
Well done. Aurangzeb is the right choice.
Question number 2 to 14. The governor of Bengal in 1764 was.
You got it. Your choice, Robert Clive, is right.
Question number 215. Founder of Police of Paramountcy.
Good job. Your answer, Lord Hastings, works well here.
Question number 216. Hyder Ali was the ruler of Dash.
Nicely done. Mysore is a solid answer.
Question number 217. Which war crushed Maratha power?
Valid point. Third Anglo-Maratha War is true. Question number 218. Doctrine of lapse was devised by.
Smart move. Lord Dalhousie is an accurate answer.
Question number 219. East India Company got Diwani in.
Strong choice. 1765 is the right answer.
Question number 220. How many Mysore wars were fought?
On track. 4 is the correct answer.
Question number 221. The last Peshwa of Maratha was.
Smart pick. Bajirai is the correct choice.
Question number 222. Rani Chennamma was the ruler of.
Excellent choice. Kittur is the right answer.
Question number 223. The Battle of Buxar was in 1763.
Solid response. False is a valid choice.
Question number 224. Lord Dalhousie introduced Dash.
Excellent. Doctrine of lapse is a brilliant choice. Question number 225. Alivardi Khan died in the year. Great thinking. 1756 is the right choice.
Question number 226. Diwani Adalat was Dash Court.
You're right. Civil is the correct answer.
Question number 227. Which battle took place 1757?
Correct response. Battle of Plassey is the most accurate answer.
Question number 228. The last Viceroy of India was.
Sharp thinking. Lord Mountbatten is the right choice.
Question number 229. Who issued farman to British?
Clear logic. Your choice, Aurangzeb, is sound and 100% true.
Question number 230. Who was the son of Hyder Ali?
Well picked. Sultan's deception is the correct answer. Question number 231. Robert Clive was appointed. Right again. Governor of Bengal is a valid answer.
Question number 232. Aurangzeb died in the year.
Bravo. 1707 is.
Question number 233. Who is the tiger of Mysore?
Nice work. You chose Sultan's deception, and it is correct.
Question number 234. Dash was capital of Sultan. Right choice. Often is the best answer.
Question number 235. When was Sindh taken over?
Nice selection. 1843 is the correct and valid answer.
Question number 236. Mir Qasim was defeated in.
Good thinking. Battle of Buxar is the right answer.
Question number 237. Men on horses are called. Correct. Sawar is the right answer. Question number 238. When did Aurangzeb died? Perfect. 1707 is the correct choice.
Question number 239. When did Dai Sultan die?
Exactly. 1799 makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 240. Royal Charter issued by?
You chose Queen Elizabeth I, and it is correct.
Question number 241. Tipu Sultan is ruler of?
Perfect. Mysore is the correct choice.
Question number 242. Sipahi is also known as? You got it. Your choice, Sepoy, is right.
Question number 243. How was Kidder annexed?
Exactly. Paramountcy makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 244. Jhansi was annexed in?
Right choice. 1854 is the best answer.
Question number 245. What is Confederacy?
Excellent. Alliance is a brilliant choice.
Question number 246. Tipu Sultan is the? Smart move. Tiger of Mysore is an accurate answer. Question number 247. Mir Jafar died in?
1765 is the accurate answer.
Question number 248. What is Farman?
You chose Royal Order, and it is correct.
Question number 249. Croken Court?
Excellent choice. Criminal Court is the right answer. Question number 250. Pick odd one. Bravo. Delhi is the answer. Question number 251. Civil Court. Nice selection. Civil Court is the correct and valid answer. Question number 252. Royal Edict. Solid response. Farman is a valid choice.
Question number 253. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format?
Correct. Contact Narayan Changder on Facebook is the right answer.